皆さんこんにちは、SOL留学です。皆さんいかがお過ごしでしょうか。本日は急遽になりますが、最近アップデートがされました、オーストラリア国内で学生ビザを持っている方のホスピタリティ・ツーリズム業界での就労時間の変更点、またパンデミックビザサブクラス408、こちらは、一般的には、テンポラリーアクティビティビザサブクラス408というものになりますが、いわゆるパンデミックビザやコロナビザなどと呼ばれるものになります。こちらに関しましてとても多くのご質問をいただいておりますので、本日は Q&A セッションという形でお伝えしていきたいと思います。そして本日もまた、詳しくこちらのビザに関しましてお伝えするために弊社マイグレーションエージェントであるNamoさんと一緒にお伝えしていきたいと思います。それではNamoさんよろしくお願いします。それでは Q&A セッションの方に移っていきたいと思います。まずはじめに、パンデミックビザに関しましてです。まず1つ目、申請にあたって条件などはあるのでしょうか、期間等々詳しく知りたいですということですね。
Recently, the government made a new announcement. So, under the COVID situation, the critical sector includes aged care, nursing home, and child care, and food processing, which means farm and meat factory things. But recently, government actually added two additional sector, which is hospitality and tourism. So we believe many of our students and international students are working in the hospitality sector, and those are now eligible to apply the 4.8 visa under the COVID stream, because those two sectors now belong to the critical sector. And then for the 4.8 pandemic visa, actually the critical sector workers can apply for the maximum 12 months visa based on the invitation from their employer, and then non-critical sector workers can still apply for the COVID pandemic, the 4.8 visa, but it is the case for the arrangement of the departure, so which means visa can be granted only around 3 months.
ありがとうございます。それでは2つ目ですね。こちらのビザに関して申請はいつからできるのですかということと、そしてコスト、料金ですね、いくらかかるのですかという質問です。
The applicant can make an application before 3 months before of his current visa or her current visa expire, which means I'm a student visa and then my student visa finish this December. I cannot apply, even though I want to change, I cannot change to the COVID visa. So we have to wait until September, and then visa must be 3 months left. Then we can apply for the visa. I mean, within 3 months we can apply for the COVID visa. And then the cost is actually nil under the government arrangement. So you don't need to worry about the visa application cost.
ありがとうございます。それでは3つ目、こちらのビザに関してですが、ディペンダントとして、パートナーの方などが一緒にビザを申請することができるのかどうかですね。
But if the applicants and dependent both are working in the critical sector, then maybe they can separately apply the visa. But if it is not a case, that means one applicant, let's say applicants working in the critical sector, but the dependent doesn't want working in the critical sector, then they can make a joint application, so the both can get the same visa.
Okay. では4つ目になります。こちらのビザは延長なども含めて新たに申請可能なのかということですね。
The last year when this visa introduced, there is many uncertainty, but now we clearly know about the visa requirement and then the condition things. But the good point is the applicants who applied and granted the visa last year and come to us again and then make another extension, then visa was granted. So we believe another extension is okay. However, this visa is temporarily arranged by the government under the very difficult situation, which is a COVID situation. So if the COVID situation is getting better and the vaccine already distributed, and then the government decide that we don't really need the certain support from the overseas worker under the critical sector, then they may suddenly stop this visa. So Yeah, before that new announcement comes up, then we still can make the extension.
OK、ありがとうございます。それでは5つ目ですね。こちらのビザは、延長などを含め、ビザが切れる前にですね、新たに学生ビザ等々を申請することができるかどうかという質問になります。
At the moment that under the visa condition, they didn't the limit to apply the another visa, which means they can change to the another visa. But if you are asking about the very common visa like visitor visa, like student visa, and another like a stay nominal permanent visa, then I've tried all, but the all success. So which means you don't need to worry about the another visa extension. But when you apply for the student visa or visitor visa, you may aware that if you apply the extend your visa in Australia and then your current visa is also applied and granted in Australia, there is extra $700 for the kind of surcharge. So yeah, the cost for the future visa application will be a little bit higher than you expected.
Okay. それではこちらに関しては最後の質問になります。こちらのビザのコンディション等々何か気をつけることはありますかってことですね。
Many of the people who already hold the 4A visa contacted us and they ask about their visa condition. But the most important thing is you must work in the critical sector. But many students contact us and ask about what about I changed my employer and I changed my company. Still okay? Yes, by the department answer, I can clearly check that you can change the employer and company. However, you cannot change the occupation and industry. So you apply for this visa as a chef. You can change your restaurant A to B, but you cannot change your position. Means you cannot work as a waitress and the restaurant manager because you applied and then visa is granted based on you working as a chef. And then, sorry about that. The most important thing, if it is the case you change the employer, then you must notify to the Department of Home Affairs. Otherwise, your visa can be cancelled.
So that's something that we have to be careful.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you so much. はい、それで以上で今回のパンデミックビザ408セクションに関しては以上になります。それでは次に先ほど申しましたホスピタリティツーリズム業界での就労時間の変更点に関してですね、こちらもQ&Aセッションとしてお答えをしていきたいと思います。
As you guys already know, if you are holding an Australian student visa, so unless you study PhD or research, then you must keep the working hour limitation under your student visa condition, which means around 40 hours, not around, exactly 40 hours, maximum 40 hours per 2 weeks. However, based on the recent announcement and change, now if you are working in the hospitality and tourism as well as the previous critical sector area, you can work without any limitation for the work, which means you can work whatever you want. 40 hours per week or 80 hours for 2 weeks, it's up to you.
ありがとうございます。それでは2つ目ですね。こちらのビザに関してパートナーなどで、パートナーさんのビザに乗っかっている場合などに関して同様に2週間、先ほど言った通り40時間以上の就労が可能なのかどうかという質問になります。
Actually, we don't have a different visa for the applicant and dependent. So means even though dependent they granted the visa, means that they are holding the 500 visa. So this is kind of the temporary arrangement. So there is no like legislation change about this, new changes. So I believe as a dependent also holding the same 500 student visa class, so that's why they are also eligible to work more than 20 hours. But that's my opinion, so that's why it's a bit confusing. So some of my colleagues that work in the same industry, they still said, oh, because dependent cannot work more than 20 hours. Because originally student visa main applicants and dependent working condition is different. But that's why many of the colleague doesn't say that we are working more than 20 hours. But I'm still pretty much sure that even dependent can work more than 20 hours as well. So that's why I make an inquiry to the Department of Home Affairs. So as soon as I receive the answer for this part, I will update it.
Okay. Thank you. それでは3つ目の質問になります。こちらに関して1つ以上ですね、2つ3つ他の職種を合わせて40時間以上働くことが、可能なのかどうかという質問になります。
Yeah, this is the same as well. There is not exact, legislation, the requirement for this question, but under the current arrangement, if you work in the critical sector, means if you work in 2 or 3 restaurants and then you don't have any work limitation. So I believe 2 or 3 restaurants, 20 hours, 40 hours, 60 hours, then I think it should be okay.
Okay. Thank you. ありがとうございます。それでは5つ目、この変更点での利点は何になりますかということですね。
So even last year, when the nurse belonged to the critical sector, our students had the huge benefits from that visa, because students who cannot make the permanent visa requirement, or who already made all the requirement for the permanent visa, but who couldn't apply and waiting the invitation from the state nomination, they could move to the 4.8 the visa, COVID visa, and have another 1 year to prepare and to wait the invitation to apply visa. So even our company see the many applicants could move to the temporary 4.8 visa and then apply for the permanent visa or another permanent visa packaged visa things. So those students who have a visa expiring soon but couldn't arrange the many things for the PR, then they still have enough time to prepare their permanent visa. And then for the people who working in the hospitality industry, think about it. So for the TSS visa, as I already mentioned on the TSS visa seminar before, the TSS visa required 2 years work experience, full-time work experience, but during the study duration still can count for the work experience for the TSS visa. In this case, now the students are eligible to work more than 20 hours. They work as a full-time base, right? So that's why all the experience that they are now working on, if they work more than 38 hours, then it is counted as a full-time work. So the students who are in diploma, they work 38 hours now, then it is already counted for the TSS visa. So the graduation visa is 1.5 years, but they are already working during their diploma for the certain month, so they can easily meet the 2 years requirement for the TSS visa.
That's a huge benefit.
Yeah.
ありがとうございます。それでは最後の質問になります。こちらは先ほどの、パンデミックビザと同じことになりますが、何か気をつけるべきことはありますかということですね。
Yeah, this is very critical thing. So if you are watching this video, you must aware that you must keep the student visa condition. And then at the first I mentioned that if you want to change to the COVID visa, your visa must be expired within 3 months. So if it is case, you can prepare and apply for the visa. But let's say, if, for example, if your student visa is expired in December and your course is under the progress, then you must keep the student visa condition, which means you must attend the school and you must progress properly for your course. So that's why you cannot cancel your student visa and apply for the 4A visa. Otherwise, your student visa can be cancelled, means you cannot have any other support from the Australian government, and then you have to leave the Australia straight away.
Okay. ありがとうございます。はい、それでは以上で Q&A セッションの方は終了になります。ナモさん、ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
はい、ということで本日は、パンデミックビザサブクラス408と、また学生ビザ期間内でのホスピタリティツーリズム業界での、勤務時間の変更点についてお話をしてまいりました。こちらに関しましてはまだまだ新しい取り組みですので、新たなアップデートがあり次第お知らせを随時していきたいと思います。また何か不明点等ございましたらいつでもSOL留学にお問い合わせをください。またSOL留学では、こちらのビザの申請サポート等も含めその他のマイグレーションサポートも実際に行っておりますので、そちらに関しまして何かご不明点等ございましたら、いつでもご連絡をください。それでは次の動画でお会いいたしましょう。ありがとうございました。